Welcome to another episode of SantorSnakes. On this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of tracking your feedings, sheds, and poops.
Thank you to all that like and subscribed.
Now, cue that intro. When we got our first snake, Princess, the corn snake, we didn't even think about tracking any information. We'd only had dogs in the past, and obviously they eat every day and poop several times a day and shed little bits of hair all day long. So it wasn't something that was even on our radar.
So whenever we got our second snake, baby girl, we started to track her eatings every week like the pet store did.
That's right, and we continued tracking her feedings because the pet store did, and I guess the pet store was doing that for her for the year that they had her, because she had had a couple of respiratory infections that first year, and she was really struggling to get a decent shed. It was just spotty and patchy every time. So we continued with that kind of cycle of writing down what she ate and when she ate, and it was good to track that. I mean, she never missed a meal or had anything alarming that happened, but it was good to do that for her just straight from the gate. Just keep a good habit.
Yeah, and we started to track her sheddings and her poopings.
We did. So we didn't track both of those things right away for her, but we realized fairly quickly that it was a good idea to track those things too. They're things that just don't happen that often. Feed them once a week when they're young, and they're shedding every 6 weeks like that when they're young, and then pooping, especially for ball pythons like baby girl, it's not a super regular thing. So we added in tracking both of those things, and we really see the benefits both for us and then possibly for a vet to track those things. Like Princess, for example, she is so regular, right? I mean, we feed her, and then 4 days later, every single time, she is ready to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and we actually potty trained her to go in the shower or the bathtub.
Yeah, so we essentially, she's potty trained, I guess. The process is pretty simple. We remove her from her enclosure and put her in the bathtub, sometimes with just a little bit of lukewarm water.
And if it's like warm to us, it's like super warm to them. Like you want it kind of cold to you, then it'll be warm to them.
That's such a good point. So if the water is warm to the touch for you, it's too hot for your snake. The snake's body wants to be about 80 degrees, 75, somewhere in there. So 80-degree water is fine. But if it's warm to your touch, that means it's warmer than you, which is high 90s. So that is going to be too hot for that snake. So yeah.
And if it is, you want to add a little bit of cold water, or just let it sit.
Exactly, two great solutions. And you can get like a little thermometer of some kind to test that water if you end up trying some kind of little soaking bath to help your snake poop. But important not to make the water too hot. When we got our third and fourth snake, which was for Carter's birthday, we decided to go ahead and continue that tradition that we started with baby girl and track their feedings and sheds and poops. Both of those little guys, Raina and Ladybug, super small, and so therefore their poops are super small, and it was kind of hard to always see it, but they were shedding every 4 weeks, being so young and things. But it was a really good idea to do it with them. I'm super happy that we did, because along with those feedings, I guess we also tracked sometimes their weight, and that ended up being a very good thing for Ladybug because she was not gaining any weight. Every couple of weeks we would weigh her and she was still just 12 grams or 13 grams while Raina was constantly progressing and getting bigger. There was a month there where Ladybug just didn't gain any weight, so we took her from feeding every 7 days to every 5 and were able to see the growth.
Yeah, it's better.
It's much better. I guess we can show you some of the little charts. We literally just 3x5 card, super simple, really easy. So the one that baby girl has got right now is just that. It says BG at the top for baby girl, and then you've got some weights in grams down the right side, dates, and on the left side, and then down the middle is what she is eating. So number wise, and then if it's a small rat or an adult mouse, just that kind of thing. This is obviously the most recent page because we've had her a couple years. There's a couple pages of tracking, but it's literally just scrap paper type of cards, but we put most like birthday, like the gotcha date, things like that on there as well. Some good milestones as far as weight gains, things like that.
Yeah, and we had her for 2 years.
We have had her for 2 years, and she has grown from 99 grams when we got her to almost 700 grams. She's gaining weight. She's looking really good. Oh, I think they all saw that. It's been super beneficial just for us to track that kind of stuff. But even more important than tracking those things for your own benefit and the immediate need of the snake, it's so important to track that kind of stuff in case there ever needs to be a vet visit. If your snake starts acting lethargic or refusing meals or regurgitates, or it has parasites or something to where you need to take it to the vet, if you've got a quick little list where you can be like, look, this is what they eat, when they eat it. Looks like somebody ordered some Domino's. Hey. It wasn't me. Was it you?
Nope. The grandma? Nope.
How we doing? Good. I bet you it was Grandma. We're gonna take a little break and eat some pizza. We'll be back 2 and 2. All right, guys, we're back. That was a fun little surprise for us. Very cool. Very cool.
Yes. Yeah. And that was delicious.
Delicious. All right. So to continue on here, when we've got snake after snake after snake, we have definitely continued with tracking all of those things. And we even started tracking with Miss Princess. We started tracking her when she moved from mice up to rats. So it was actually just earlier this year that we decided to do that. What?
Oh, rat?
Apparently Carter did not know that Princess eats rats and not mice. So let's blow his mind. So Wiz Khalifa, baby girl, Daisy, and Princess, and of course the big girl Cuddles, all eat rats. Only Ladybug, Raina, and Sweetie eat mice. Yeah. And the Reptarium actually started carrying baby chicks and stuff, so we might even try feeding Cuddles like a baby chicken or something.
No. They're too cute.
The one more thing to mention that you may want to track if it comes up is any kind of medical treatments that you are doing on your own. So with Mr. Wiz Khalifa, we haven't had him very long, but he actually needed some mite treatments. So he was just starting to act a little different, and looked into it, got some help from some great people on some Facebook groups, and ended up finding a few mites in his water bowl, and decided to go ahead and take care of that as soon as we found out. So every time we did a mite treatment, which we ended up doing 2, we tracked that as to when we did it, so we knew exactly what to tell the vet if we ended up needing to take him to the vet. But we're happy to report that he is feeling much better. He has eaten since then. He is back to his normal behavior and looking fantastic.
And we only had him for like 1 month or something.
Yeah, we haven't had him much longer than a month at all. He's definitely the newest member of the family. To recap, guys, we feel that it's very important to track some of those things for your snakes, being when it is eating, what it's eating, when it's shedding, when it's pooping, and how much it weighs. Every once in a while, you don't need to do that every time you feed it, but just every once in a while kind of track that it's gaining weight appropriately, and then any kind of medical treatment that you do at home. And that is going to wrap this one up for you. We really appreciate that you watched this with us and hope you learned something, and we hope that you start tracking some of this information about your snakes.
Thank you all for learning with us.
And we'll catch you on the next one.